Delhi's Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia, after almost 7 hours of questioning, was arrested by the CBI formally last night. It was in connection of the alleged Delhi liquor scam. In fact, he's the second Delhi minister after Satyendra Jain who has been arrested by the agencies.
That's right, Ankit, and you're right there outside the CBI headquarters yesterday waiting for that news as he was being questioned. It was something the AAP was expecting. They made a big spectacle of Manish Sisodia going in for that questioning, his visit to Rajghat and his addressing the crowd, invoking Bhagat Singh and saying that we don't fear arrest. And so it was pretty much, something that they were expecting. He'll be brought to the court today at 3 o'clock. But the Aam Aadmi Party planning to make a big show of it today as well. They're calling it a black tin planning protests.
That's right. For the Aam Aadmi Party, of course, a party which is known to utilize, opportunities for political optics. While on one hand, they say they are not scared of the arrest, but they try to make a full political, point as far as this arrest is concerned. Three things that came out of the Aam Aadmi Party's messaging yesterday, with Arvind Kejriwal and Bhagwant Mann, the chief ministers of Delhi and Punjab, visiting Manish Sisodia's residence, trying to play that emotional chord with his wife being unwell, saying that she has now been left alone, with the CBI coming and arresting Manish Sisodia, and also talking about how the central agencies are completely hampering the work of the government of Delhi. Today is going to be an important day. The protest of the Aam Aadmi Party is going to increase because, let's make no mistake, despite Mr. Satyendra Jain, a very, very important cabinet member of Arvind Kejriwal's team in Delhi, Manish Sisodia is a much bigger blow to the Aam Aadmi Party and the Delhi government. Right,
absolutely. He was somebody who had 18, portfolios under him. In fact, he was to be questioned last week and he asked for more time from the CBI because he said he needed to finalize the budget, and he said, don't let the people of Delhi suffer. So a big blow to AAP and to Mr. Kejriwal with his arrest, and he's probably, Ankit, seeing how Satyendra Jain has been there for months. He's probably gone in for several months already. We can expect it to be for several months. And the CBI claiming that he was not answering their questions. And Ankit, this whole focus now in this liquor policy case has been on this South group and the arrest of that former CA of, KCR's daughter Kavita, that CA, and the kind of information that has been revealed from there. And that's what they want to focus on. Also, what some former bureaucrat has said under oath. He's given a statement that's been recorded by the CBI. So all that being taken to Manish Sisodia.
That's right. So the CBI says that new revelations led to the questioning of Mr. Sisodia. His answers were not satisfactory, which has led to his arrest. One of the issues that they have cited. Now, let me go across at this moment to our colleague Arvind Gunasekar, who's joining us from outside the CBI headquarters. Arvind, it was a fortress yesterday. What's the sense today as far as the CBI is concerned, when the Aam Aadmi Party has already declared that there are going to be protests all across the country? And what are you picking up from the agency as far as the investigation is concerned?
Ankit, Section 144 CRPC has again been invoked in the premises in and around the CBI. So it's similar scenes here where a camera person could pan and show you the kind of police deployment. Not just the Delhi police personnel. What we are seeing on screen is also CRPF personnel have also been deployed here. So it's same fortress here. Section 144 invoked, and only people who are working in the premises of CBI and also the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology are only being allowed to enter this particular premises. Their ID cards are being checked, and only those people are being allowed to enter this particular premises. So it's 144, and no private person is allowed anywhere near this particular place. So coming back to the to your later part of the question regarding what the agency sources are saying in this particular case is that what we are being told is that after the agency registered the FIR on August 17, the agency conducted searches at the premises of several accused and also people related to this particular case, and that's where the agency seized several digital devices from the Department of Excise Department that dealt with this excise policy. And that's where during the forensic examination of one of the devices, that's where the agency got to know one of the very crucial files. That's the draft copy of GOM report on this Delhi liquor policy. That particular file, they got to know that particular file originated from a system that was not part of this excise department network. And that's where during the further investigation, the agency got to know that particular file was shared to this particular system, to the system of an excise department officer from the office of Manish Sisodia. And that's where, if you could remember, Ankit, on January 14th, the agency reached the office of Manish Sisodia in order to seize the system of Manish Sisodia. The computer system of Manish Sisodia was again seized by the CBI officials on January 14th. That is almost 6 months after the first set of searches that were conducted by CBI. And during the searches, during the examination of that particular system, the agency got to know that most of the files were indeed deleted, and that's where they sent the system to CFSL, and that's where the agency retrieved some of the files, and that's where they got to know that this particular the draft copy of GOM, that particular draft copy was in fact received on this system also via WhatsApp. And that's where the agency wanted to question the 1996 Danix officer, who at that particular point of time was working as secretary to Manish Sisodia and the Department of Excise. And during his questioning, he made it very clear that in the mid-March 2021, he was called by Manish Sisodia to the residence of Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal in the presence of another minister, Satyendra Jain, and this particular draft copy of GOM was given to him. And that's why he, according to our sources, has told the agency that that was the first time he saw this particular draft copy, and it's in this particular draft copy that the 12% profit margin was included to the, that particular 12% margin clause was, profit margin clause was included in the GOM copy. And that's why he has said that there was no kind of discussion, or in fact, the agency also, sources say that during the investigation they have got to know there were no files, or there was no any discussion that took place in order to finalizing this 12% margin. And that's where the agency say that this particular 12% margin was given by one of the company that benefited in this Delhi liquor policy, and that's where the agency wanted to question Manish Sisodia. So on two important things: one, from the device that was seized from his office on January 14th, and also this 164 statement that was recorded by CBI on by the Danix officer. So these two clinching evidence that led CBI to the doorstep of Manish Sisodia, and again he was summoned yesterday. So after 8 hours of questioning, the agency decided to arrest him because, according to our sources, he was not forthcoming with the information on this particular draft GOM copy. Where did this particular draft GOM copy originate from? Because according to our sources, the entire excise department systems were examined, but this particular copy was not present in any of the systems. So according to our sources, it clearly indicates that this particular copy originated externally, and it was shared to the officer, this particular Danix officer, and it was then brought into the system of excise department. And that's where the agency wanted to get more information, but because, according to our sources, Manish Sisodia claimed that he does not have any information about this particular file, and that's where the agency decided to arrest him. So what our sources are saying is that Manish Sisodia will be produced before the CBI court at around 3 p.m, where the agency is expected to seek his maximum custody in order to confront him with all the evidence that they have managed to gather during the course of the investigation.
Right. So, Arvind, the agencies, in fact, will be taking him to the court where they are expected to ask for his custody. Now, going forward from here, what are the legal options as far as Mr. Sisodia is concerned?
One, Sisodia's legal team can oppose the remand application, because CBI will be filing a remand application seeking the maximum custody of Manish Sisodia, though the maximum custody, the prescribed limit is 14 days for any police agency. So in this particular case, CBI in all likelihood will be asking for more than 10 days. Let's not be surprised if CBI at one go itself asks for the 14 days. It's up to the court to decide whether the court sends him for 14 days of custody or not. But our sources in CBI have clearly told us that they'll be asking for maximum custody, because they don't want to take him to court every now and then. Because if CBI asks for 5 days, and again if the court gives 5 days custody, and again after the 5th day, again he has to be produced before the court on 6th day. So CBI doesn't want to take the risk with keeping all the law and order situation in mind. So CBI wants to take his maximum custody at one go. So CBI will be asking for 14 days. Let's not be surprised if CBI asks for 14 days. In such a scenario, his legal team will be challenging the remand application per se itself. They'll be asking what was the need for CBI to arrest him when he was readily cooperating with the investigation. investigation. Though the CBI will be saying that he was not cooperating with the investigation, that necessitated his arrest by the agency. But his legal team will argue, saying that he has promptly appeared before the agency whenever the agency summoned him, and there is no question of him not cooperating with the investigation. So it's up to the court to take a call whether to send him on remand, whether to send him on police remand or not. But his legal team, for one, they will challenge the remand police custody application of CBI, and if the court grants him the police custody, then they will be asking for the legal counsel meeting with him every day, and also they will be coming up with several other demands, like he should be treated, there should not be any coercive action, etc. and all. They will be coming up with such requests before the court. But in all likelihood, Gargi, let's be clear, in such cases, the courts will always send the accused to police custody. So we are not sure whether the CBI will get the entire 10 days or 14 days in this particular case, but let's be clear that CBI will be sending him the court will be sending him to CBI custody.